All right, there we go. We're live. Howdy, everyone. It is Crow's Nest No Quarter, episode 66. This one's called Unleash the VXP Wreckage, I think is what I called it, but I can't remember now. So there you go. If you would like to join us, the link is in the YouTube chat, but I'll put it back in there in a sec. I'll just mute myself in a sec. But anyway, so if you want to come and join us, feel free. I don't know why I always pause on that. Anyway, never mind. So we'll say howdy to everyone who's here, and then I'll mute myself and switch over to YouTube. So we've got Arturian.
Hello.
We've got Watchman.
Hi, everyone.
We've got Killswitch.
Hi.
We've got Stardust.
Hello.
Princess Warrior, if I remember correctly. We've got Cuttlefish.
Hello, everyone.
And I'm RB, posing as Damnation, as I normally do. So I guess, I don't know where you all want to start the conversation. Why don't we choose VXP weekend? So how's everyone been going with that?
Well, I just got back, and I have 4 silverfish, basically with like 2 guns on them each, with nothing else on them. And I threw them into the 100s, and wow, with 1 hit, I walked away with 140,000 VXP. That brought them up to about 57 to 60% rank in 1 hit. That was with the triple salty, of course. They're hard repairing. I think 1 more hit, and I should be in the 70 to 72% range. That's good enough. So I am pleased by the amount of VXP I get with such a barely started fleet.
Yeah, very
Nice.
similar. I mean, I won't lie. I didn't realise how easy it was going to be because I knew I was going to be working all day today. Like 12 hours. So I put a Grease Monkey crew on, like in the base. I went out and I put a triple salty on, and I think it was 3 hits with a silverfish, and I had 2 of them fully ranked, and I only had to take 2 out for the 4th hit. But they only had 2 guns on each. And now I'm refitting. I started to refit straight as soon as they were done, but yeah, it's really quick, really easy. I mean, the points they're giving out are much better than they had done in the past. So yeah, I was pleased with that. I'm surprised and thought maybe I didn't need to use a Grease Monkey crew in the end. I might have been able to do it without, but it is what it is, and it's done now, But it was, it was sort of 2.5 repairs, basically. So I spent 25 gold, something like that. But it's done.
Well, the good thing is this one's going on till Monday as well. So you do have a fair bit of time, even if the bigger 100 targets disappear, there's still quite a bit of time to do it reasonably, because they are long repairs. But I'm really not complaining because the amount of VXP in this is just, absolutely amazing. And it's probably good that we start off with something like this because, we've all had experiences where the VXP weekends have been pretty disastrous, but this has been really, really good. I managed to get my Praetorian done as well, the lead. So, yeah, it's been pretty good.
Yeah, we should have ended on this so it's positive. We'll have to get back to it,
No.
I'm kidding.
Has anyone actually killed?
They gave us the bonus XP or VXP, but they made a change that they didn't tell us about. They put the spawning points around the SSRB bases, and they didn't say anything about that. And VXP has a locator that doesn't work. You go to the location thing and you get a blank screen.
Yeah,
But,
that wasn't
other
clear.
than that, I ran my silverfish. Just like everybody else, it's only taken like 2.5 runs into a 100 to do it. I had the silver salty on. I'm not sure if that's 2-star or 3-star, but it still paid out 140K, so I was happy with that. As for designing my silverfish, I'm still up in the air as to what I want to do with them.
Yeah, I was going to say that that it wasn't. I didn't see it clearly put out there where they were going to spawn. You know, I might have just missed it where I've been busy. But that's the thing, you know, you have to trawl through all the different places to find things all the time, and not everyone's got the time to do that. And you know, maybe I missed it, but I didn't see them clearly stating that they were spawning around the SSRBs. I suppose because we've just taken it for granted that they've spawned around the relay towers for so long, you know.
Yep. There was no official statement. I went through all of Discord's announcements, and there wasn't anything there. Just that they were going to give us this bonus VXP.
Yeah, I think it was
spawning at the SSRBs. There's more locations in a sector versus a sector relay tower. So.
Yeah, oh yeah, it's a good thing, and so they're giving out more, you know. So there's more out there, and there's more, you know, higher points. So it's a good thing. But as I say, I was giving them the benefit of the doubt, thinking that I might have missed it. But it does appear that, you know, a lot of people didn't get the notice either. Like, you know, yeah.
I'm just curious because I haven't looked in the locators since, but since the shipwrecks, aren't they done now? So have they put the VXP back in the locator where it should be?
That's a good
no.
I'm just going to check on that.
Because I don't think it was a, you know, I don't think that this was by design. I think this is by error, because you can be looking, you know, looking at your screen, looking at the,
Nope.
you know, the skirmish fleet, and your locator won't show a thing. So
The locator's popping up. Bonus VXP. There are no bonus VXP targets nearby. Please drag in later.
mm-hmm.
And are you
I
parked right
posted
beside a...
I posted a picture on Kickside Discord showing that screen and me hitting a 100 directly below it.
I used to love, you know, like, and a similar sort of thing, but I'll just do this quickly. It's like when you're searching for an alliance, you know, like, and you're parked in the middle of them, and it goes, can't find them. You know, like, when you put in the search thing for it, and it's like, can't find them, and you're parked in the middle of about 10 of them, you know. It's like, yeah, well done.
You don't need a locator; you can see them there. But
Yeah, but it's whether there's another 50 of them, you know, like.
yeah. I did think that the spawn rate on the 100s was pretty low yesterday, but it seems to be a bit higher today, so that's probably a good thing. So if you've got a, you know, if you've got a decent fleet, don't forget to get your defense tokens, because they're always handy. So VXP tokens, not build tokens, by the way. So yeah. I don't
I'm willing to
particularly
sell
need to worry
mine.
about them. Sorry?
I'm willing to sell my defender tokens. I don't build defenders.
Oh, okay. What's the going rate?
I don't... grease monkeys. I need grease monkeys.
I think we all need grease monkeys.
Yeah.
I'm good.
No, I had a hell of a week rolling grease monkeys. Normally, I don't have too many problems with them at all, and I have just literally emptied warehouse after warehouse after warehouse trying to get some more. So, yeah, it's yeah.
What
They're
I'd
really
like to see come back is
They turned
Siren.
off the sector thing, didn't they, yesterday? Buggers. It was turned off, you know, sector threat. It was turned off for a while. Because I think, you buggers, I just scrolled out last night and everything, and I thought I fell up again. You know, because I was replacing the crews that I'd used, obviously, to do the VXP, and they turned off sector threat.
Yeah, sector threat was off yesterday for shipwrecks. It's back on now.
Ah, okay, yeah. It's like, why?
Good question.
You know, I was thinking, why? How does it affect it?
Yeah, I don't know. I was wondering that as well. I mean, I guess it's
Coding how?
lag thing. I don't know. I was a bit irritated to find the same thing. So that, and there's no announcement of it. But I guess it is what it is. So. Cool. And how did you all end up going in the raid? I know it's all been and gone and all the rest of it, but was everybody relatively happy with all of that in the end?
I was pretty happy with it. What I'd like to see is the Siren Limited crew to come back, because I was using that.
Probably will next Valentine's Day.
Because the fact that it was limiting their reload rate.
I didn't have Saturns, so the raid was a bit difficult for me. I still did okay. Still got everything I needed, but yeah.
So why was that, Cuddle?
The U3 Saturn's ability to completely take out the ghost crawlers in the top targets was absolutely amazing. Whereas because I didn't have that, a lot harder to do with the NEMX, a lot more damage. So
I can agree with Cuddle.
U3 can't make that much of a difference because these targets aren't designed around upgrade level 3.
That's funny.
Well,
you
it's
come
really
in
good.
and you start like that. Come on.
I've been here for 5 minutes. Why don't you pay the fuck attention?
But yes, I actually do think that U3 Saturn, the Rock Ring Saturn specifically, you know, was a game changer for this raid.
Yeah. I mean that is the whole. That's the whole of this raid series. It really is. It had been. You know, you could just do things for, you know, you could take so much damage away with the U3 Rock Ring. You know, you can take out all the shrouded ships. You could take out the you know, the ghost crawlers. Yeah, brilliant. You know.
Well, that can't be true. These targets aren't designed around U3.
I was going to say,
Politicians' promises.
I didn't really have that much.
Had an advantage.
Yeah, I didn't really have that much trouble. I don't have the rock ring, but I didn't really have that much trouble. So yeah, I think it was all a lot to do with the pattern, because I can't be asked going in and out of the clouds and all that sort of thing. It's just the pattern that you use will cut down most of your damage. So I mean, you still get damage, of course, but in the end, I was doing it for sort of 3 or 4 coins a set, so I was pretty happy with that.
Me about the same way.
See, I don't have the top line of the Saturns, but I discovered that if I was using a grease monkey, I could get instant map repair on the 60 sets, which was great because then I could just keep going for an hour and a half and just repair. I didn't get, well, what I wanted to get, I got, which was the flagshipy thing. I totally ignored the silverfish because it's ugly and I don't want it, and I refused to buy it. But I don't know. It was sort of fun, except for the fact that I did try the top targets, and I think I could sort of do them. And yes, we did find that my even with only a U2 could take out the ghost crawler, but hiding was just like ugh.
Yeah, I don't know the tactic of not taking a ship because it's ugly. Because I'm not going to agree that all the ships have been beautiful that we've had in the past. So,
But it
It's uglier
looks like a
depending on which
bug.
DIC you put on.
Besides, I hate skirmish. I got my bat rays. Hopefully they'll do. That's all. Yeah. Plus, they're messing around with the raid schedule anyway, so I haven't figured out what's going to be what with the targets. It's a big headache.
Yeah, I'll agree with that.
well, there will be a secondary fleet coming out. I mean, if you want to grab that, which is supposed to be a shorter build, but it's supposed to.
It's also supposed to be weaker.
Yeah, that's the thing. You know, it's probably going to be hitting down at a lower level with it. You know, but it'll give you access to the rate. But in saying that, if they're going to continue to run we continue to run Saturns and NEMs in the lower level targets anyway during the next raid series, is there any point in building that secondary hull? You know, because they have said that they're still going to be running those as secondary targets, haven't they?
Yeah,
I'm just wondering.
Go on.
Sorry. I was just wondering, like, which targets it is that they're going to be using from this raid in the next raid, because that'll make a big difference.
Yeah.
I would have expected it to be a reasonably high level one, because you know they're going to think, right, we've given you plenty of time to build the Saturns and the NEMs now. If you haven't built anything else, you know.
The ASET targets should be similar to what we saw for the what do you call it, the VXP. And then because they're doing this multi-style drop-down targets, our Saturns and Nemesis should be probably the 80s and so on down.
I don't think they have a fucking clue what they're doing, to be honest with you.
And I agree with Damnation.
I think they'll decide, like, 3 days before the raid exactly what they're fucking doing. I mean,
And does that
because
decision?
it was very. I found the whole thing very ironic anyway, because when they did the whole post about how they were going to change up this raid, what they were going to do with the 2 holes and everything, and he asked for everybody's input, like 99.9% of the people said it was a terrible fucking idea. And what do? They go ahead and do it anyway. So it's like, if you're not going to listen to our feedback, just do us a favor and don't even fucking ask for it.
The curious thing is that this next raid is going to be under the new owner. So are they still going to go forward on the same game plan?
Kicks being bought out is not going to affect the day-to-day operations at all, unless the new owners say, hey, we're not making enough money that we want you to. Now we're going to poke our nose in and see what the fuck you're doing. Until that time comes, they're not going to pay any attention to what's going on whatsoever.
Exactly. Yeah.
I don't necessarily agree with that, because I think that given that, we've got this little shipwrecks event and VXP and all that sort of thing, I've got a feeling they may be, looking at, metrics in the background and, what's going to get their best return and all that sort of thing. Whenever there's a new manager, new business, new whatever, even though they've got all those figures and they've made that decision, you're still going to be, putting your twist on it, or
okay. Well, I mean, you are aware that the company that bought out Kicks owns like 8 other game companies, right?
Yeah, and they want to maximize their investment.
Yeah, but they don't have time to look at all the games for all these game companies, dude. They look at the money, they look at the company umbrella as a whole, and they watch the metrics for the company as a whole, and then they look and then see if one is underperforming. Then they go start looking. They don't. Yeah, they don't have time to stick their nose into every single game that they have.
Oh, no, I wouldn't expect that. But at the same time, they are going to be watching those figures pretty closely.
Can I just say that rumour has it that the last 30 million is for the updates? Yeah, there's still 30 million owed, isn't there? I think they're buying it for 130 million. They paid 100 million, and there's still another 30 million. And I just got that feeling that the last 30 million was for the updates.
They paid 90. The other 30 million is based on Kick Size company reaching certain benchmarks, and I would almost guarantee it that some of those benchmarks have to do with being fully converted into HTML5. I would imagine is one of the big ones.
Mm-hmm. Yep, quite possibly.
Well, otherwise it has nowhere to go, right?
Yep. Just a slow, well, how do I say a slow decline, but just another decline. But anyway, never mind.
Oh, once they go.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like you're gonna wake up and on the day in 2020 and suddenly Flash is not going to work anymore or anywhere. It's not what's going to happen. Basically, what's going to happen is Flash is going to continue to work the same way it's always worked, but there's not going to be any more updates for Flash. There's not going to be any more, security measures for it. So as time goes on, Flash is just going to become more and more outdated and have more and more security holes. But it's not like you're going to wake up on March 1st of 2020. It's like, oh my gosh, Flash doesn't work at all anymore. No, that's not what's going to happen.
Yeah, that's it. They could always they could run on a generic Flash forever, But yeah, as you said, it's there's no updates with it, and so moving over to HTML5, yeah, it should be much better. Hopefully, it's whether they how much confidence we have they can move it across cleanly. That's a big issue.
Once they go HTML5, I probably will see them go with a mobile version that's actually playable, not the HQ.
Yeah. I mean, as I said, I never play it on the phone, but it's a good thing if it gets more players active. So I don't disagree with it because I think it's good if it keeps more players, it keeps the game alive. But it's not the way I want to play the game. I want to play on my desktop. But anything that keeps the game active and keeps it alive and allows more player engagement is a good thing.
Yeah.
Very good. So I wanted to just quickly talk about the TLC too. I haven't had a chance to do it. I meant to do it last night. So I just wanted to see if anyone had done it and if you had any tips or any strategies you found successful.
I did stage one with
any strategies.
I did stage one with the protopols. Did okay. I wasn't doing too great with them, but they did accomplish it. And then I switched to the Saturns and walked into Prize Pack 3 and finished that and got Prince. I haven't done the mastery on it yet. Saturns did really well.
Yeah, I got all the way to the second round of the mastery with one. I used to Grease Monkey Crew. With one Grease Monkey Crew, so in an hour and a half, basically, I'd got through everything. And I thought, that's probably it. And then I started upgrading the howlers, and then realised that I need to do the third one because I was short a few tokens, upgrade tokens. Not the actual build tokens, but the upgrade tokens themselves. So I had to do the last pack, like 50, whatever it was, to do the last bloody one. So I had to go out there again and do the last just the last round again. Just one of them, yeah. But I think with Saturns, yeah, it's reasonably easy,
And are they the raid targets?
No, it's a few that was changed. They were different. They were different, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, a few of the targets were more of a gauntlet style. Start at the bottom of the screen and have to work your way straight up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was. There was some quite large targets as well, But once you got a pattern going, you was all right. Once you worked out where you need to go, it was because they normally repeat the first few targets and it keeps going. So once you know the pattern, like you worked it out, you can do it quite fast.
And is the mastery seven rounds or 6 or
7? Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Cool beans.
And you were talking about just those base proto Apollos that they gave us, right?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, I wanted to go into that because one person in particular in my sector was absolutely going off like a cut snake yesterday about how Kixai were thieves and liars and cheats and all the rest of it because he hadn't got his free fleet. And just remember, if they do this, the magic number is like 122. You've got to have 122 in your dock, otherwise you won't get that free fleet. So going forwards, 122 is the number. So, of course, it didn't make it any easier for themselves, because I imagine how many tickets would have been sent for that sort of thing when you could clearly communicate that on the top of the screen. But anyway, never mind. So yeah, but they didn't seem to be too bad. I've only tried them in a 95 so far, but for a free fleet, they're actually not too bad.
I've scrapped mine already. Fucking shit. They're absolute shit. I scrapped them.
Don't be crying in pillage, mate. That's all I can say.
Oh, I won't be. I never have.
No, you probably won't.
I tried them out in the raid, and I was like, these things are fucking garbage.
We didn't get them in the raid, did we?
What,
Oh, yeah.
The Apollos?
Yeah.
Yeah, we got them at the end of the raid.
Oh, okay. There you go. I didn't try them then, so I didn't know.
Yeah, I did try them in a lower level target. In the 60s weren't too bad. In the 80s, they were. I didn't. No. As far as I was concerned, they weren't good enough. So yeah, if you wanted to do 60s, but and you wanted to grind, yeah, you could get away with them.
The thing that bothers me about this, even though yes, they're free, and I guess we should be grateful for when we get free things, that if I remember correctly, the repairs were very long and costly on this fleet. So that does make me wonder, what they're going to be like going forward.
I quite like the Proto Apollos myself. I was using them to auto 60s, plus I could do the higher targets with my Nemesis. So it worked great for me.
Okay. Yeah, RBF in chat saying that he found them better than Mantis, so that's kind of interesting. So, and then it's a boost for the lower players. So, I think that's probably the main thing, that it does give people a few more options. Because I know, like, I started building mine when I got the mages going. Then, because there wasn't a target for them, I scrapped them. So to get them free now, I'm sure they'll come in handy at some stage. So I'm not going to complain too much.
Yeah, I had that free one that they offered when they originally came out, that if you finished in a certain amount of points that you would get the free print, and it gave you, a gun and 1 anti-missile on it. That was sitting in my dock for the longest time because it had no use.
I had 4 half-built Apollos, which I have scrapped now that they've given me 5 fully built ones. So, glad I used shipyard time on those.
Now, I don't know how well they do, but the 95 titanium targets, I have seen people using them in them. But I haven't.
Yeah, no use.
Yeah, so I don't know how well they do as opposed to the Saturns. But, I have seen people hitting the 95 titanium targets with them.
I didn't find them to be too bad.
Well, for me, I just send them in the 95s in auto and drive my Nemesis in the other 95. So I quite love them.
That's cool.
How are they doing damage-wise in the 95s?
Not bad at all. It's pretty much free repair in the base if you just wait a little bit.
Okay.
One
That's-
coin repair.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that is good then, for a free fleet. That's very good.
Well, if you're struggling to get titanium, for sure. So I did try to look at trying to change them around a bit, but they are very restrictive on weight. So there's not going to be too much more you can do to them unless you've got tokens or whatever. There's not an awful lot you can do to them. So.
I mean, but if they throw anything at you for free and it's actually usable, you can get, as you were just saying, if you can get a free repair in the base, and stuff like that, then that okay, that's good. I'll give them kudos on that one, because they're giving people something where they've got access to an asset and a resource that they need.
Yeah, definitely.
That's I'm going to say well done, Kickstarter, on that one. And it's not often I do say that. So, don't expect to hear it too often.
Yeah. Well, I mean, for players who don't have them or were struggling for titanium, even if you don't want to hit the 95s, you could, probably hit the 68s and just keep on going. So at least it does give people access to titanium. So.
Yeah. That's it. They can, build their bases and as well and stuff. It's the because there's so many upgrades and things that's coming around on everything. I tell you, I think I spent most of the week this week though actually getting base parts after the raid. That was because I know it's completely different, but it was just I was changing things around and that was trying to find enough targets. It was really a struggle. I think after the raid, everyone was after base parts. It's absolutely mad.
Well, not for me. Everybody was going after titanium after the raid on the sector I was in.
Yeah, I think it obviously just depends. What your priorities are. I know I still need to do stuff with my base and all that sort of stuff. So.
Just went to watch a battle and it's not let me in, so I've got to refresh the bloody game. That pisses me off. Sorry.
Well, yeah, actually, I was going to talk about that because I know actually, there's been a couple of big changes this week. One being
my hands are never off the ship's wheel.
That's exactly right. So, having found that, though, I do find that I'm still having to refresh because there's obviously still all this stuff in the background going on. So, yeah, I don't know. It's a bit of I don't know why, and why that wouldn't have been announced as one of these quality of life changes, because surely would probably benefit more people than opening all your chests at once.
Yeah, I don't know. I was in the game for like a day and a half before I finally had to refresh because my shit wasn't moving or whatever.
Okay.
Yeah, the game's actually staying open, isn't it? It's it has been staying open. It's just been only in the must been since the last update or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's but normally I find if I need to do anything, I still got to refresh.
Yeah.
The map's still there. It's still there. I can see it in front of me. But if you've not been on for half an hour or something like that, or an hour or so, you still need to refresh before you can theoretically do anything.
See, I haven't had that experience at all. I'd be gone for 9-10 hours and come back and everything would still work just fine.
Okay.
Not for me. To me, the game was still bad about crashing on my side.
Interesting.
Yeah, it seems to be affecting everyone differently.
Yeah, quite honestly, I thought if anybody would have problems with it, it would be me because I'm on one of the world's worst internet connections at the moment.
Yeah, I think too, obviously we've been trained all this time that whenever there's a lag issue that you refresh and clear your cache and all that sort of stuff. So it's a bit of a mindset change, after all these years of you've got to refresh, you've got to refresh, you've got to refresh. So yeah, a bit of an interesting one. So
Something tells me though that I'm not really sure it was an intentional change. Otherwise, I think they would have announced it. I think something might have gotten wonky in the update.
Yeah,
kind of like the rooted. Sorry, like kind of like the whole thing that we don't see the red in our dock anymore.
yeah. That was the next one I was going to.
Yeah, that one's a pain in the ass.
That's not a winner, is it? That one's not a winner. Anyone's Yeah, that's not winning many votes. That one.
No.
I don't like it.
No, I don't think anyone does. Anyone does. I don't know why that's happened, and they need to put it back where it was. That one.
Yeah. Yeah, I've gotten a free repair for when I was doing VXP because it was letting me launch, even though my fleet I'd suicided it and let me launch. I'm like, oh, okay, this is interesting. And then, I wonder if I can hit a target with it, but I couldn't. But then you have to go back in your dock to see that they're dead. So whatever they come up with, because it was supposed to be something about so you could see the damage in shipwrecks or something. I think I read. I can't remember exactly, but yeah, it's.
Can I just mention
Yeah,
one?
Mickey Rogers in chat is saying his interceptors still show up to normal red, but that they're the only ones.
Okay.
I've been getting. I've just had to refresh 3 times. It keeps saying to me, "You're currently not connected to any chat servers on the chat." Is anyone else getting that problem? I only since I've come in from work, in the last hour and a half or whatever, hour or so. I'm having to refresh because I can't connect to the world chat, sector chat, alliance chat.
Maybe they're trying to tell you something.
It was working earlier, and that's the thing I was saying about when it used to used to time out because say you'd go and smash a fleet or something like that and put it on repair, and then you end up chatting in the alliance or in sector chat, and all of a sudden you're having a good chat about something, and it would bloody die, and you think, you buggers, what I mean? Your hands are off the keyboard, or off the ship's wheel, whatever. And but now I don't know. I think there is a problem there, But I just wondered if anyone else has been getting that.
Nope.
Okay,
No, I'm currently on, and the chat is currently working. All of them.
It was there. I said I went to watch a battle, refresh, and it went back again. So I'm trying to refresh for the 3rd time.
Do you have two? Do you have 2 battle pirates open at the same time?
I don't know. No.
Okay.
I've got this is on on the Mac, the chat, but I'm actually playing on a Windows computer, so I've completely isolated everything.
I don't talk to people in the game, so I couldn't tell you.
Third attempt, and it's still got, "You are currently not authorized to chat. Use recommended use reconnect to rejoin the chat server." Done it 3 times, you know what I mean? So yeah, I don't know what's going on with it.
I think someone might have got comms banned just quietly.
Well, I haven't been here to be comms banned. That's the point, what I mean? I've not even been on.
Oh, very good.
That's a bit bloody harsh, you know what I mean?
All right. So, is there anything else anyone wants to talk about?
Yeah. It's just now suddenly flashed up, and now I've got comms. It just flashed itself, you know what I mean? And suddenly it's there again.
You're welcome.
Boom.
Being hacked, yeah.
Oh, nice. Very good. Now, and I was correct, it was a hell of an FM this week for all the prizes and everything. So it's been a pretty busy weekend with all the events and all that sort of stuff. So hopefully everybody's getting things done in a reasonable manner.
Well, the Praetorians are absolutely great.
Yeah, I've got over 50 million unspent. I've got everything, and I've got 50 million unspent points. Actually, well, a bit silly.
Why?
I was filling up with because I built a load of ships and stuff like that, and they were eating up a load of res. So I was filling up the res by hitting hitting them for nothing, you know.
Yeah.
So I just used it to fill up the res.
Nice.
Yeah.
How many Praetorians do you have now?
I was running 3 on auto. Yeah.
Do you run them individually or in a pack?
Yeah, individually. Yeah.
Yeah, me too. I've got 2, and I run them individually.
How much longer do you think that'll go on for?
Oh, hopefully as long as the 85 glowing nav relays have existed, which is far past the end of their lifespan.
That's very true. They've been there for a long time. So, yeah, I know with my Praetorians, I'm still not at a point to that they're built well enough to do the targets. No, actually, now that I've got them,
That is a lie. Even if you have 1 gun on a Praetorian, no engine, no specials, no nothing, just one of those pylum rockets, you can auto 89s for instant repair. So,
okay.
Yeah. I mean, if you have 4 Praetorians with one of those pylum rockets on it, just auto. I mean, it's nowhere near as fast as the 120s, of course, but, you know, it's still instant repair. So this ship works great even with minimal gear on it.
Yep.
Yep, that's why they'll change it and make it so, the Praetorian can only hit whatever these new targets are going to be.
The 120s have become very hard to find. I see
They were hard
120.
to find around me.
Hell yeah, everybody's autoing them with like 2 to 3 ships at a time.
Yeah.
I use about 3 ships myself.
Exactly. Yeah.
I send 1 in per 120 or 121. That way I can be hitting because I have 4 done at the moment, so I can be hitting 4 targets at the same time. My FM goes stupid fast.
What damage are you getting on the 121? I've not really tried them as much. I think I did try once, and I was actually getting. I had to take it in the base to repair it, whereas the others were map repair.
I think I was getting 7 minutes repair, I think, on the 121, but mine weren't legendary yet either. I'm anxious to see now that mine are legendary how that's going to affect my repair time.
7 minutes is about the average for 121. 120s we're doing for free.
Yeah.
And that will keep me hunting 120s.
So with the Praetorians, basically it's a less is more when it comes to the fleet.
Honestly, it's the same. Honestly, it's the same with Ice Dragons or Inferno Dragons. I mean, it's just yeah. I know. I don't know why.
Mad Haxor Damnation fleets.
That's right. That's right.
But yeah, because most of the damage that you're taking, your 120s and your 121s, a lot of it is splash based. So the less number of boats you're using, the less splash you're going to take across the fleet, obviously.
Exactly. Yeah, it's the same. If you take in your if you use all your fleet, the Saturns. Instead of just sending one in, pausing the rest of the fleet and just sending one to go around. I find if I send the whole fleet in, I'll end up with about 7 or 8 minutes repair. But if I just send one in, pause them all, and just all one, then it's about 2.5 minutes repair, to do. So it's the same thing. Again, you're taking the splash damage because all of the ships are getting it.
I was like what I just said.
Yeah.
I was quite happy with ranking the Praetorians because I hadn't they weren't ranked after last time. So seeing them actually be able to do some damage in these new VXP targets was quite nice. So it's just the whatever it is, the stonefish or whatever, the ones that don't surface that you can't kill, but they were certainly putting a fair bit of hurt on that VXP fleet, so that was nice. So
Yeah, on one of the VXP targets I hit, there was only a couple left, and what's the big one that's launching all the missiles, stuff like that. And there was about 4 ships left in there, and I went in. Well, that was actually the first one I hit, and I killed it. I finished it off. But I wasn't expecting that with a completely unranked fleet. I actually finished off. I thought, oh, this is nice.
Yeah, it makes a change, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So this one's definitely been a much better VXP weekend, that's for sure. Been quite a nice experience for once.
Yeah, I found it interesting how like the Praetorians were actually doing the VXP target better than what Bat Rays were.
Yeah.
Minus the submerged ships, of course.
Yeah, I meant to go back in and try the VXP target with Bat Rays because I made sure that I got the tokens in the raid to do the Bat Rays, so I could put the new special and stuff on them, but there hasn't really been that big an improvement, so I am curious to see what they're like in that VXP target. So. Certainly wasn't as bigger improvement as I was hoping that it would be. So. Next subject.
Shall we go to BP next week?
Sure.
The calendar?
Just let me finish this target quickly. So keep talking, and I'll do some stuff in the background because I do have it going. So. Okay. Let's look at Cuddle for a sec.
Wow, there's a lot of dead airspace.
Yeah, I know, right?
Sorry. Well,
All right.
The calendar next week covers. All right.
So that should
the
be
calendar next week covers a full 4 days, which is pretty impressive for them. And includes Bounty 22, now featuring shipwreck targets. Wow, is Kixeye pushing the shipwreck targets? Am I the only one that noticed? Does anybody else see that they're pushing the shipwreck targets super hard?
Mm-hmm.
They push every new thing that they come out with super hard.
Did anybody do that mini bounty, that mini shipwreck event that just passed?
No.
I did one shipwreck just to get me in the top 2,000 people, and after I did one, I didn't do anyone.
Personally, I never bothered because I knew I was going to be working, so there was no point. I knew I wasn't going to get anywhere on the leaderboard, so I just didn't bother.
I tried it, but I was outmatched. If anyone wasn't upgraded, you had no chance.
I wasn't upgraded, and I got one and held on to it the whole time.
For me, it's timing.
I was running into the larger allies down here in Alpha and not getting any chance of getting one.
Yeah, I mean, we've got gangs in our sector. So, we're in the same sector. And we got HPRD next door, I think. And, knowing also that I was going to be working all day today, I thought, is it really worth it? So I opted out of this one.
So far, I haven't tried them at all because I haven't built them. But it's just they just keep running everything concurrent. And it's like I just want to do one thing. I don't want to do shipwrecks and this. It's like just one thing.
Yeah, it's definitely a struggle as to what decisions you're making and where you're putting your time and all that sort of thing to be successful. So I am kind of curious what the improvements are going to be to shipwrecks and how they're going to tie it into bounty. But I guess we'll just have to wait and see for the briefing, and then the uproar will start, no doubt.
They wouldn't consider like replacing the gold nexuses with that particular part instead of the big Hyperion. No. What the heck are those things called? The big ships.
Yeah.
Mega.
Yeah, they're Hyperions, yeah. That go for the golden nexus.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't think anybody has any idea what they're going to do at this point.
I mean, that makes sense that they replace them, but for the people who do the mega battles for the Nexus, I reckon that'd be a pretty big money spinner. So I can't see them, cutting income.
Yeah, I think it's just going to be an additional way for you to get individual bounty points out of going out and capturing them, just like what we were just doing.
It doesn't.
My speculation.
Yeah, it doesn't say they're removing the golden nexuses, does it? On Wednesday the 26th, it says bounty 22 begins at 3 p.m. PDT and includes shipwreck targets, which you can claim for payouts for bounty. But it doesn't say that they're removing the golden nexus. I mean, to be honest with you, I probably do prefer the shipwreck targets. They're more fun and a cheaper repair than the golden nexus battles are. Because when you had to use repairing a Hyperion and repairing your main PvP fleets could be bloody expensive, So
I don't see it getting rid of golden nexuses just because a lot of people have spent a lot of time and a lot of investment in their Hyperions, and the golden nexus is really the only time they ever get to do anything with them. So I do not see them getting rid of golden nexuses.
No, that's it, because they haven't said they're going to. So, yeah.
Well, the reason why I was even thinking of it was when I was watching the main shipwreck event, all the Alliance ones, once the thing died, wasn't there like this gold nexus that was kind of like sitting there after?
No, it's not a gold nexus. It just turns into a regular nexus.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I thought and I could be completely wrong here because it has happened before once, that they were going to get rid of your opponent bases and replace them with shipwrecks.
No, they're definitely not doing that either. I think what was said there and where the confusion came from was they were not going to be putting the shipwreck outposts into bounty. And somehow people construed that into, oh my god, they're getting rid of your opponent bases.
Well, because there was that thing about how the shipwreck outposts weren't, while they'd put them in, they weren't, that wasn't the intent. The intent was that we were all supposed to be fighting over the shipwreck. So, yeah, I don't know. I guess, if you hold a shipwreck in this, instead of getting shipwreck points, you're getting bounty points. I guess that's how it's going to work. So.
I mean, I can see it coming eventually, when they start removing targets and going more over to shipwrecks. But at the moment, they haven't said that they're removing any of the other targets. But I do feel that is maybe coming down the line somewhere.
I don't think they'll ever get rid of your opponent bases and bounty.
Mm-hmm.
And I can pretty much guarantee you, if they do get rid of your opponent bases and bounty, 3/4 of the people who participate in bounty will no longer participate in bounty.
And it is free content, which they don't actually have to create, with lots of variation. They're going to stick around.
And I guess now too that everything's blitzable, they want to keep those blitz Blitzcoins coming in. So
Yeah. I mean, that's probably a good rule of thumb. If it has a blitz button attached to it, it's not going.
quite true. Quite true. Very good. All right. Is there anything else anyone wants to talk about? I think we might start wrapping this up. What do you all think?
Sounds great to me. I'm ready to go eat dinner.
Covered everything.
Yep, VXP was good.
Oops, sorry.
The raid was reasonable, and and it hasn't been. We haven't been overloaded this week, so it's not been a bad week, you know.
Yeah, I'm reasonably
and
satisfied.
we got a free crew, you know, a free fleet. So I think all in all, it's been one of the better weeks in Battle Pirates, you know.
Cool. All right. So I guess one of the things that I did want to say is to the Crow fishing squad, I hope you all have a nice time. There's a few Crow members that have caught up with Ross, so tight lines and happy fishing, because that's important. So there you go. And for RBF in chat, I don't know when those tokens are getting paid out for the shipwreck event. There seems to be a lot of people asking about that, but being the weekend, I guess it would be, during the week.
Yeah, my guess would be Monday at the soonest.
Yep. So. Cool. All right. Well, good luck for your coming week. Thanks for everyone who joined us in chat. I sometimes forget to say that, so sorry about that. So, good to see we didn't get any thumbs down this week, but it's only early, so we'll see how we go there. So, there you go.
Well, that's because I didn't get on until after it started.
Okay. What? So you're going to dislike it now? That's what you're saying?
No, I mean, I know a person or two that automatically disliked it just because I'm on.
I don't know. It could be me. Oh, there you go. Ross is still in chat. So, leave some fish for other people, though, you silly crows.
Oh, look at that. He can get on the chat, but he can't get in the hangout for the show. How about that shit?
No. I hope they all have a good time and shoot the shit and catch lots of fish. So, anyway, we'll see you all next week. Hopefully you'll have fun and we can talk about bounty and all the briefings and blah, 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 blah. So, see you later, everyone.
Bye.
Good night, all.
Yeah, good night all.
Have a good night, all.